Good morning. So it's 9:30, Friday the 29th of May 2020. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I'm not sure why. So it takes me a long time to fall asleep, and then I'm waking up with the light. So probably 4 hours sleep a night. So I'm a bit tired at the moment. So bear with me, please. But also it's a Friday. So Friday days, in terms of day trading, can really be very iffy. It's really not a bad idea to consider closing out day positions for the weekend. Just because the markets can just do anything. So just having a look here, starting off with the US indices. Excuse me. Some of them on their daily have started a retracement. All right, so potentially back down to test these levels of resistance, or back down towards moving averages, back down towards 25,000. So what that means is that if I am an aggressive trader who's sensible, I would potentially consider going short, but we're still in a bull market. And so of course money in the markets can just bounce relatively quickly. So it is higher risk. So I'd exercise some caution there. Looking at the Dow, it's just created that swing high on the daily, going through to NASDAQ, to the tech. Interesting, because now we have enough days, we can see that there is clearly a strong level of resistance at that level. Okay, so I'm just going to mark it because it's clearly there as well. And so, and then I'll just kind of place that there and just see how that goes. So that, let's call it 9.5. Okay, so I'll just go in and just configure that up and just put it in at 9.5. So it's there, but obviously once or if we break through that, the next one up is 9.750, but it's clearly having some issues there. So just noting that. So there might be shorting opportunities today, but that doesn't mean that next week it could just turn around on Monday and we have another bullish week next week. So it means that whatever gains I make today, and probably by about 2 or 3 or 4 in the afternoon for the UK, I'm going to close out and just be done with it. US Russell 2000, okay, that's already done a bit of a retracement back into the moving averages. So this area plus these highs represent the earliest at which price would reasonably turn around. So there's not much room left at that point. FTSE 100, also just starting that, and also very interesting here, we've got very close, effectively it's not 6,200 level of resistance. It's usually in these situations where you'll have some bearish divergence. So if you switch it up to a weekly and then bring in the indicators, no, see there's no divergence there between these two levels there, but they're very close to each other and they do indicate some potential resistance. Check it on the daily just to be sure, but if the weekly looks nice and healthy, not really seeing too much at this point here. So no, looks nice and bullish. So the momentum isn't shifting. So even though it has produced, it's showing some resistance, but it's not implying that it's weakness, just that it's going to maintain its bullishness and then keep going. All right, so let's go with EU stocks. Yep. A little bit overextended. So the more overextended they are, the more appealing they are to me. Excuse me. The more appealing they are to me as potential day trade short. I want them to not be as strong as the US stocks, and I want them to be really overextended so that the weight pulling them down is much stronger. The DAX also, again, back down to this area would be beautiful to test that level of resistance as support, and back into the moving averages, and this is a weekly high. That would be perfect, but if it's really bullish, it's not going to even go down that far. So again, I'm just going to repeat higher risk, and we'll see what happens with that for now, because we don't have that confirmed downtrend. This is the Nikkei producing a bearish candle, hasn't actually done the swing high yet, but a pullback down towards 21,000 would be a good indicator. And Australia has also pushed a little bit lower, so this is ASX coming back down to these levels. So those are all shorter term, much more aggressive day trading opportunities. So here we've got the dollar index. So what is significant, ladies and gentlemen, is that we did break outside of this range. We've also broken this low, so that's great. We don't have a confirmed trend yet. I wanted to try and get back in the range and then be rejected. So that will be next week. Likely see it'll either move much further down, or it'll do a kind of a turnaround here, reject that level and carry on down. At that point, if I can trade the dollar basket, I will. Alternatively, I'll be looking at euro dollar. So for today, look, the daily is a little bit started to break out of that loop. It's a little bit overextended on that 4 hourly, but in principle, I'm looking for long opportunities on this that look good, and on the strong, excuse me, on the stronger ones. Nothing on cable. Looking at Aussie dollar again, that's got a nice little area here of resistance. It's potentially wanting to break out, so there could be a breakout setting up there. Kiwi dollar. Excuse my puppy, she's decided to bark at something or nothing. And level of resistance here becoming support, plus a level of resistance here. So there could be some breakout opportunities there. Euro dollar actually looking really good. Aussie dollar and Kiwi dollar in that order. Dollar yen, as I said, I have my reasons. Not really convinced that that's a great one. Dollar Swissy is still within its range. And dollar CAD. Dollar CAD is on my watch list. Look at that. That's just saying screaming stay away from me on the 15-minute time frame and the 30 minutes. There's just so there's just no reason to get involved there. This level of support to be retested as resistance is going to be a good trading opportunity. I've got my eye on. So basically looking for price to head back up towards 13.9, but actually closer to 13.875. So 1.3875 or 1.390. Okay, so that's what I like the look of, for price to pull back into that next week. It's not going to be today. Euro GBP is now broken up to the upside, so yes, that's good. It's broken out of this level, and so there could be something there as well. So in fact, Euro pair is looking a little bit more bullish than bearish. That's cool. Nothing on Euro Aussie. Euro Kiwi looking a bit bullish there. Euro Yen is starting to push to the upside there. Euro Swissy upside. So Euro strong. Euro is nice and strong. Euro CAD. I mean, that's just annoying because that's very difficult to trade because it's drifting to the upside. And look at that 4 hour. It's just a nightmare. It's just a tumble dryer. So pound Aussie. So here we can see that sterling is actually quite weak. You can see it's heading lower. So sterling, I'd be looking for shorting opportunities on. Sterling yen also pretty good in terms of that, but the daily not great. Pound Swissy looking. So I'm leaning to the downside on that. So that could be a potential swing trading opportunity here. Pound CAD on the daily, pulling back into level of support as resistance. Bearish candle also. This is not a pivot level. I've actually just put in the weekly lows and highs here, and actually it's behaving as though it's a pivot level. So that's cool. Aussie Kiwi. Not much happening there. Okay, Aussie Yen. Aussie Yen potentially to that upside. Look at how that, yeah, I was just going to say it's looking more bullish than anything else. Aussie Swissy. So Euro's looking bullish. Aussie and Kiwi looking also strong. Cables, GBP, Sterling looking weak. So that's generally seems to be the case across the pairs. This one as well, similar to that breakout, very similar to Aussie Kiwi, Pound CAD to the downside. Aussie Swissy to the upside, looking nice and bullish. Swing trading opportunities. Usually in that situation, in case anyone wonders, I'll usually place the order Sunday night after the market opens, after the spreads have died down a bit, which is usually about 11 o'clock. I could create the order now, but I still have to wait till 10 o'clock till the market closes, and then I might as well just wait till Sunday night. So I usually just do that. Kiwi Swissy, strong resistance. Swissy Yen, no. I'm looking at the daily and the CAD Yen doing a retracement back into this area. So it could be a turnaround somewhere here, but then I'll be looking at like the 8-hour time frame. So if I switch that up to 8 hours, then I can get a sense of, okay, there we go. Level of resistance potential thing. But again, I still have to wait 6 hours for that candle to close. So we'll leave that for now. CAD Swissy. Nope, nothing there right now. Spot gold. So gold's now starting to recover a little bit. It is technically in a downtrend, lower highs, lower lows on the daily. And this area is still a good area for me to look for longer opportunities. But, okay, I'll keep an eye on that. Silver has been pretty good. I mean, silver set up bullishly last week and has started to push higher. So that's still following through. So again, it's encountering some resistance here at 1750. Look at that. But that is looking relatively healthy, is likely to break out. Let's look at crudes. So crude oil's not going anywhere. You can just see largely sideways. Sideways for now. It doesn't mean they won't move. They're just not moving this morning. Sugar, I was looking at a swing low, which I've posted about. So looking for the high to get broken on that. Coffee, nothing on coffee. Chicago, Bitcoin. So Ether, or Ethereum, whichever way you want to call it, it looks like that's broken out. So it still has to really get past that to look good, but was looking at that as a nice, yesterday as a nice break above 217. The next really big level is going to be about 250 on that. It has to really get past that, but this was the initial level of resistance, so that's good. And that's it. That's everything on my watch list. I'm preferring at the moment, as I said, Euro longs, some of the yen charts, GBP pair is short, silver long, keep an eye on gold. and the US indices very cautiously taking trades to the downside, being very careful to take profits quickly, almost certainly keeping an eye on how far it has to go down to the next level. That's what I'll be looking at. All right, and so those kind of trades will be on the 15-minute, 5-minute time frames, most likely. All right, thank you guys. If I don't speak to you before then, have a good weekend and stay safe.